to pinch here, right? And then all you're doing is scooping. Scoop underneath, grab that. See how I'm grabbing yarn over? The yarn is over my hook. This is yarn over. So I'm scooping under and turning. So that I have that pull through the loop. There's one chain, right? You can see one chain is done, one stitch. Go again, scoop, chain 2. Now the reason we're stopping at chain 2 is because the magic circle picks up from here. The first instruction, recall, said 8 half double crochet, 8 half double crochet in a magic circle. I'll turn this off so it's not crossed off. We're gonna learn that there's single crochet, half double crochet, but we're gonna learn it with the half double crochet because I'll show you what that does. We need 8 of them. 8 of these stitches in a magic circle. Let's start there. A half double crochet starts like this. Grab below with you've got your two little slips or slip stitches you've got. Scoop your yarn. So scoop your yarn around the hook and go through the very first hole at the beginning of your chain. You'll see that your hook comes through on the other side about here. You see how the head pokes through? Right? And then you're going to scoop the yarn and pull through. You should now have 3 on your hook. You can see 3. 1, 2, 3. Scoop and pull through. So scoop under, pull through. That's a half double crochet, all 3 loops. That's 1. Scoop again, go in the first chain here. Scoop. And there's 2. Scoop again. There's your second one. Scoop again through the hole, the same hole. We're gonna go in this hole more than you know. Get used to this hole. You're gonna go in it 8 times. There's number 3, right? Scoop again, go in the same hole. Look at that hole. It's just getting gaping and it's a wide hole. All right, we've got 3 on that every time we scoop. Look at that. We've been in that hole 4 times. We're not done with that hole. We're not done. We're gonna scoop again. We're now gonna go in that damn hole a 5th time. Imagine a 5th time. We were not done the first 4. Scoop, there's a 5th time. But guess what? We said 8, so we're gonna go in another couple times here. We in this hole 6 times. Scoop. There's 6. Scoop, pull through all 3. Scoop, right? If you let go, don't worry, just grab your piece again. We going in this hole 7 times. Scoop. Pull through all 3, scoop. This is the final time we going in the hole. That's 8. 8 half double crochets in a magic circle, okay? We went through that hole 8 times. There's all our V's, right? Imagine, just me in college. Listen, K1 dubs, we don't judge here, we don't shame, nothing, no history. That was like, we're talking about like our early 20s at this point, you know, like, maybe not. I'm just kidding. You know, it's from it. We don't know shit. Okay, listen. That's 8. You've basically, if you look behind your hook, you can count all the V's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you don't know how many you've done, just keep counting your V's. Going back from the hook. All right? Back from the hook. The problem with doing this magic circle is that you'll see there's a hole in the middle from going through that hole so much. Like, F's in chat for that hole. F's in chat for that hole. It's okay to have that, but like, it's nice to have a cleaner, tighter stitch, you know? That, I mean, like, look at, right? Different magic circles. So although you can chain 2 and then go in the first chain however many times you need, 4, 6, 8, whatever, that's the result of what happens. You know, when we look at all these other parts here, you can see there's a cleaner way to do the magic circle. You just got to learn a way that works for you. And again, if you're not sure, go to Ribbler, and in each of the steps, everything that's highlighted in blue gives you a video. It's 8 seconds, right? There's 1 in a magic circle, and then you just keep going in there, right? Go in there, scoop your yarn, scoop, there's 1. Scoop your yarn, Go scoop 2. So depending which method works for you, there's this method too in Ribbler. There's the chain method I just showed you. There's the Japanese method. There are so many magic circles. Which one works? Look how many. It just keeps going, going, going. Then you pull the tail and you close the magic circle over here versus going in the chain way I showed you. So I want to show you this method because that hole is very chef's kiss. Okay, right? This is my pattern. Yeah, it is. We're looking at right now on Ribbler, the Charmander one. If you do exclamation Ribbler, we're doing the crochet along. Sort of, you can learn there. I'm wearing the beanie now for Squirtle, but Charmander's over here. Here's our boy. Right? This is Charmander. Here's Bulbasaur. Right? You got Bulbasaur with the eyes, the ears. They're stuffed, right? They got polyfill. You got the spots, right? You got like number 1, number 2, number 3. And then I'm wearing Squirtle because someone redeemed it. So, you know, it's cute. We're making cute shit. Now we're doing Pikachus. But I'm sort of teaching with that. So there's different ways to do Magic Circle. At this point, you've completed the first step, but like it's kind of worn. You know what I mean? When you're going from here, though, you're looking back from the first stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way back to 8. And your first stitch is going to be under the V. You can see here, right? That's where your basic first stitch started over here. And this is where we ended. All right. With the chain magic circle, you have to weave your tail through the first round of stitches and pull tight. Yeah, I know, right? So I'm not a fan of the chain method in general. I think you just need to suck it up, learn a magic circle, and get the very tight ones because they look better. They look better, right? They just look better. So let's learn that together. I've shown this in the stream a few times, but I'll show it again. I'm going to do it in yellow, I think. I don't need this one anymore. We're going to start with a fresh yellow for Pikachu. All right. So the magic circle I was showing you was under your pinky, index, and then your two things. Think shocker, 1, 2. Clamp it down. All right. That's your starting. Take your 5mm hook under the 2 here, scoop behind, pull this through like that. You now have 1 on your hook, 1 loop. Scoop again like that, pull through what you just did, right? You'll feel it click and it's locked. You can move around your fingers, adjust your position, but you're essentially doing that. We're doing 8 half double crochet in a magic circle. Half double crochet, scoop around, go through the loops, and then scoop here. You'll have 3 on your hook. 1, 2, 3. Scoop here. You're gonna scoop under, right? Pull through all 3. There's 1. You'll feel it, wiggle it if you have to. Don't, if it falls off your hook, it's okay. But you pull through, there's 1. Scoop around again, through your loop. Grab here, there's 2. You should have 3 on your hook. 1, 2, 3. Scoop and pull through all 3. Scoop again. We have to do this 8 times. Through your fingers, around, pull up. 3. Again, I'll show you one more in slow-mo so you can see. If it falls off, put your hook through. Do it again. Scoop through here. Grab this one. Pull it through where you just scooped. See how we're pulling through here? You pull through, scoop. All 3. Scoop again. I'm going to do 8 quickly. I'll speed it up. 4. Here's 5. So there's 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now once you've done your 8th one, the first step is done. Except we have to close the magic circle. I'm doing half double crochet. Yeah, that's the first instruction. 8 half double crochet in a magic circle. Yarn under, yarn over. Yeah, it's yarn over method. All right. Now we can see there's little V's here. Do you see this V here? You can see here the little V's, right? You can kind of see this down. If I point to it with a darning needle, you can see the V here. It goes down and up. See there? And there's another one. Another one. Here's the first one. This little, you see the little V's? The V there. At this point, take your fingers out. You'll have 2 rings to pull from. There's your tail over here, closest here, and then one on the right side. We're gonna pull the first loop, close, with it still on your hook. Check it out. It closes the one part of the magic circle and closes it tight. You see how it's closing? Keep pulling it, not too much, at point, and now pull this long tail. And you'll see it start to now pull through there. And we're gonna continue to close our magic circle. And there is how tight we can make that hole I showed you earlier. We have 8 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the Japanese magic circle method that I learned. You can go back and watch the VOD or clip as you need, but that essentially, now you sort of can see there's the start of the hat. That is literally the first step. 8 half double crochets all around, and there's our first one right by the first tail. You can see the first one. You're doing half double, yes. Yarn over, no yarn under for hat. It would be too tight. Yeah, yarn under is too tight. Yarn over is what you would do. Doing well. How are you doing, Hasty? And the redeem time is up. Thank God. On the Squirtle beanie. I don't know why my 3, 2, 1's not working. I love how patient. Oh, of course I am. I totally am patient. Totally patient. And that's it. You've left this on your hook. You've closed your magic circle, right? You've finished the first step. You have a little loose tail. You have one over here. Back on this one, cross it off. The first one there. But there's one, actually I lied to you. There's a step here I skipped. Join by slip stitch into the first stitch. Let's show you what that looks like. If you don't know the stitch, count back from your hook all the V's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It turns out it's the stitch right by this tail here. You're gonna wrap this around your pinky just to hold it in here with your index, right? Always pinky and index for me. That's how I hold mine, right? The join is go under the very first stitch. There's a V here. I'm hoping you can see this if we focus. Under, you'll see the V. You see that metal poking through? There's the V there, the first 2. You're gonna scoop, pull through. You have 2 on your hook, but keep scooping through the first loop. That's a join, because you've just joined the magic circle where you finished to where you started, right? That's a join. You've got your circle finished now. You can see here. It's the top of the hat right there. The first circle. Once you get that magic circle done and out of the way, I think that's the hardest part. You've just finished the hardest part, because now you just have all of these stitches to work around and around and around and around, and eventually it gets easy. But for now, that's it. You've got your join. This tail here, I'll typically pull this just a little bit to make sure that it's taut, to like close the middle even a little bit more, just to make sure. But it makes a perfect circle, right? What I'll do though, because I don't want to just cut it and then it comes loose, I'll tie one little knot. So I'll get my loop, but I'll pull it all the way down to the base of the circle on the inside. Sometimes I'll double up. And then now that that knot is right down here at the base, I can cut just a little tail, like say here. And then that'll be tucked in. You can cut it shorter. You probably could, but something there. So it's a circle, basically. Take your yarn, throw it in an Ort jar, like a random threads, what have you. And now we can start to work on the next step. Read it. We just did 8 half double crochet in a magic circle, and we joined by a slip stitch. Now we're done. Now it says chain 1. So remember I showed you chain was scooping and pulling through? It says increase in the slip stitch that we just did, and then we can do 7 increases. So let's break this down. Start with a chain. Here's a chain. When we have our circle, a chain was scooping and just pulling through once. That's it. That's your chain. You can see the chain right there at the end. There's that distance from the hook to the... That's your one chain.